Hello, everyone. It is your favorite girl, Miss Melody, and I am back again for my second episode of my conversion to Islam. I first want to thank everybody that has been supporting me through this journey that I'm experiencing, going through as of now. This makes day 14 of Ramadan. Before I get into my spiel and go into my story, I would like to say, if you're new and you have not been able to watch my first episode, I would strongly advise for you to go watch that one first before you watch this one. We thank you for coming, though. And for everyone that has already watched and has been just following me through my journey, I would like to again thank you guys for being so supportive. I've gotten just such a great outpouring from everyone. Just the support and, asking if I have any questions, especially from the Muslim community as well. And it's just such a great feeling. So wanted to get that out of the way. Second, if you are watching us on any platform, we always ask for you to like, subscribe, and share. Okay? I would love to, spread the message about conversion and converting, whether it be any religion, but in my case, I am converting from Christian to Muslim. So it's important to me to get the word out, to give my own personal, experience of converting, because everyone's, journey is going to be different. Hence the reason why we talked about it in the first episode. But I wanted to just give you guys an update on where I am now. It's Ramadan. This is the second week. Makes 14 days. I've been fasting for 14 days. I've been celebrating Ramadan for 14 days. Lots of it's not just about fasting. Ramadan embodies a lot of things. But yes, 14 days, mashallah. So again, I thank you guys. I don't want to ramble on too long. I kind of just want to give you guys an update. So before I get into just how my week has been overall, I would like to just give a disclaimer. I am in no shape or form a scholar. I am not preaching to the masses about, being Muslim and knowing it all and all of those things. This is a very new experience for me, and I'm learning every day, which, with anything that you're learning new, which I spoke about in the first episode, it's just going to be a learning experience, and it's going to be a daily that you're going to learn and soak up information and learn from other people and study. So everything, all of the information that I'm giving is just more of in my, through my eyes, through my lens. And I hope that, like I stated, I hope that it can touch as many people as it can. Again, I would love for you guys to share it so that I could get out the word and the message to as many people as possible. So now that I've got all that out of the way, let's talk about my week. So my week has been amazing, just amazing overall. I have, again, continued to do what I was doing from last week, which was still doing my studying. I am doing all of my prayers, trying to do all of my prayers. Keep in mind that, you do have life and, you work and you still run errands and take care of family. But prayers are really important when it comes to the Muslim faith. So it is imperative. It's really, important for you to do your 5 prayers a day. I have been up at 5:30, around 5:30 every day for 14 days, which is great because I needed some structure in my life. I find that I felt as though throughout my life I had structure. I felt like I was routine. And to be honest, I think I did what most adult people do. I could make appointments, be there on time. I went to work, I was there on time. I wrote down when I went to the grocery store things that I needed. I made a to-do list. But I think those are just normal things that people should do as adults. Maybe more, do it more than others. But I'm talking about structure. I'm talking about I'm going to wake up at this time every day. I'm going to plan my whole day out. And I lack that. So in the last 14 days, I've learned about structure and foundation, things that I really, really, really needed in my life, which we'll go into a little bit more later on in the video. So the first thing that I wanted to touch on is, again, just giving you guys some of the things that I have just kind of gone through the last week or so. So you guys didn't know, but my stepdad is a pastor. He has his own church. He is heavy into the Christian religion. And he did not know about me and my on my journey of converting. He didn't know. So the other day, we kind of just had a conversation. And I knew this was going to happen. I already knew that he was going to want to have a conversation with me about it. And I was absolutely ready. And well, I'm sorry, I take that back. I was not ready for the conversation. However, I listened. And without going into all the details, he flat out just asked me, why do you want to become Muslim? And I really had to, at the time, think about it. I didn't give him an answer particularly. I didn't say anything. And I allowed for him to give me some of his wisdom, because I do appreciate and respect him. And especially being a man of God, I also respect him in that regard as well. So it was just listening and taking in what he was saying. Now, I didn't really speak too much throughout this. I was just more of taking it in. But the one thing that resonated with me that he said was, religion is only as good as its teacher. And it really resonated because I really agree with that. I think with anything in life, you have to learn it. You have to be taught it. And I wanted him to understand. The one thing that I wanted to tell him was that I didn't want him to think that Christianity failed me. I didn't want him to think that spirituality failed me, because I had went through several different journeys and paths throughout my life. My first path was Christianity. I was Christian. I went to church. I went to Bible study, and I learned about being a Christian. I was born Christian and was raised Christian. Now, I was not, as a child, I did not go to church every day. I didn't do those things, but I was born Christian. I wasn't a practicing Christian. And then as I had gotten older, I became more spiritual, which was, I believed in doing right by people. I believed in doing vision boards. I believed in, scripting. I believed in those type of things. And again, I didn't want him to feel as though I was failed as a Christian when I was practicing, because that's not what it was. It just happened that the way that my life was structured at this point, me being Muslim fit perfectly. I'll give you some examples. So one thing I try to be, especially when I do my videos, is being very open and honest about my journey, my ups and downs of just more of life as well, that was able to drop me into the space that I'm in now. The last 3 years of my life were challenging. I went from having this successful business to not doing as well. I had relationships that were daunting. I struggled with, if I wanted to go back to work, because I had been a full-time entrepreneur for some time. Relationships were taking a dive. Finances were all over the place. I had went through a really up and down of emotion, and just life was just lifing. Life was just lifing, as people would say, right? So I really didn't go too much into it for my first video. But again, I want to give you guys the real deal. Last year, everything just really took a toll on me. Life, like I said, life was lifing. And around that time, I'd already put some thought into, I felt like I needed some guidance. Being spiritual, you don't have a big book to reference. You don't have like the masjid for Muslims, or going to church. I believed in God, so let me be clear. I believed in God, but I felt like I didn't have someone to rely on, I guess, if that makes sense. I enjoyed being spiritual because it wasn't about religion. I felt the need to feel open to practice whatever it is that I wanted to practice. You know, if I wanted to go to church, I could. If I wanted to go to Jumar, I could. You know, if I didn't want to go, it was fine too. And that's where I was. But I still felt very lost. Follow me, okay? I felt lost. And I felt like for a very, 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 very long time, I was praying and I was praying and I was praying, but I couldn't hear anything. I wasn't getting anything. It wasn't hearing anything, even through, maybe I wasn't paying attention. And I think now I know why, but just follow me where I'm going with this. It wasn't registering. You know how you feel like you're supposed to hear what you're supposed to be doing if you're paying attention. I felt like a lost kid. Okay. I felt lost. So as these things were happening in my life that I felt were bad, in the background, things were progressing that I couldn't see. For example, my friend that I was dating, my friend that I was dating at the time, he was Muslim, and he was able to tell me a lot about the faith and, you know, his walk and everything. And I was so intrigued by it. My girlfriend, that her and I had been friends since the 7th grade. And, you know, as life, we were always really, really close. And then, you know, life happens and we weren't talking as much. And we had recently just linked back up and we were talking, and she's Muslim, and it was like, oh, great, you know, and it was great. It was refreshing because I felt like I was intrigued a little bit more. You know, I was like, okay, I want to learn more. I want to learn more. I want to learn more. And then life continued to life. Not to go in all the details, but I had bad work experiences. Situations with where I lived, it just was coming down on me hard. And I'm sure you all can relate to this, whether you, whatever your religion is. Do you ever just feel like you're not being answered? Do you ever feel like that you're calling out and it's just silence? And that's for several different reasons. When you're not really in your faith, you know, that could be part of the reason, or you're not paying attention. Because sometimes it's this. God is jumping up and down in your face and you're not paying attention. And I felt like this was that ha-ha moment for me. It was all of these things that were happening. Granted, things were happening on the back end too, that I know now. But I like to use the expression, you either can sit down or get set down, or he will sit you down. Okay? And I felt like this was my moment to sit down. I needed to clear the outside noise, and I needed to sit. Okay? Now, let me give the disclaimer. At all am I saying that my life has been horrible, because I don't want to at all make it seem as if I've gone through so much that, oh my gosh, that I had to just get rid of all these religions and go in and start being Muslim. That has absolutely nothing to do with it. It's all about timing and synchronicities. You can plan your whole life out, but your life is already planned. You know that, right? It's already planned. You can plan it and it will go a totally different direction. And see, I did that. I had so many plans and so many things, and God was telling me, I have another story for you, ma'am. I have you going a different way, and you are just trying to do I'm going to sit you down for a second. Set me down. I'm sitting down. Okay. Are you following me? Okay. So here it is. January 2024. My life has been turned upside down. And all I can do is now just work on me. There was nothing else to do. All of my distractions were taking away from me. There weren't any distractions. No. All those things that were distractions were away. The relationships that I had were, for some reason, they disappeared. Gone. The things that were taking me off of my path were gone. Are you following me? Following me. You following me. So these are the things that led up to me being inquisitive, wanting to ask questions and feeling like something was pulling at me. And I didn't know at that time what it was. Okay. January. Now let's just fast forward. I'm building relationships with, my Muslim friends. And I'm just so, I'm pouring in. One of my girlfriends, she just took her Shahada, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is great. I wanted to support her. I was just so excited for her. And that was kind of where I'm just kind of building you guys up to Ramadan. And then Ramadan comes and I'm like, okay, I think I want to try this. Mind you, I'd only been to the mosque once. I'm still doing my studying. I'm still, because I feel like with anything that you're learning, you should study. I don't want to just jump. I know particularly for me, I don't just jump into something. I want to do my research. I want to see if it's a great fit. I also, didn't want my friend at the time that I was dating. I didn't want him to feel as though this was something that I was doing because he was Muslim. That was important as well, which he didn't expect that, but I wanted to ensure him that I was not. And which we'll talk about on the back end as well. So these are all the things that was building up to me here in Ramadan. Okay, this is where we are. Kind of just again wanted to give you that story for you guys to feel how I was able to get to this point. And again, let me say again, disclaimer. I do not want anyone to feel as though now that I am converting, that I've had good, bad, and indifferent in every part of my life, regardless of religion. Everyone goes through things. Everyone has has highs, has lows, has those times where everything just seems like it's smooth sailing. And that I've had that. But for 2 years of my life, it felt dark. It felt lonely. I felt lost. And here I am for Ramadan. So you guys know I did my first episode of my conversion to Islam. And I got, I appreciate all of the love and support that I have received. I found out that there are family members that I have that are like distant cousins that are Muslim, that have called and given me advice and just was, supporting me. I've had people inbox me, leave me messages. I appreciate all of the love and support that I have received from everyone. It's been great. And I posted that, I think, last Tuesday. So I get up that morning, same thing. I do my same routine. I prayer. I do breakfast. I make my intentions for the day. And for 1 second, I had some negative thoughts that were kind of coming to mind. It was like I was asking myself, could I do this for the rest of my life? Now, as I was thinking about it, the first thing that came to mind was, how women, I know you can relate with this. How you're in a relationship with someone and everything's going great. He's taking you out. He's listening to you. The kids are good. The whole relationship is just great. Your job is going great. And then you're looking around and you're like, everything is too perfect. Let me pick a fight with him. Y'all can relate to this. I know for a fact that you all can relate to this. That is exactly how I felt. I felt that I was trying to find something negative in this whole-blown positive space that I was in to say that I could not do this for the rest of my life, that I could not be Muslim, that I could not get up and pray 5 times a day. I could not wake up early in the morning. You following me? Okay. But I quickly changed that. I continued to write my intentions and my intentions for the day. And I'd gotten, some more positive feedback from some people on social media. And one thing resonated with me. One of the gentlemen, he's a Muslim, he's a Muslim brother, and he said, make sure that you're using your gifts that you have. And all of a sudden, I just became super emotional. I mean, I'm a crybaby anyway. Anyone knows me, I'm a crybaby. But I was overwhelmed with emotion, like just bawling my eyes out, okay? I'm emotional. All these things are running through my head. I'm thinking about my father, which the other week I went to go see him at the cemetery. My father's deceased. I'm thinking about, the video and all the responses that I was getting. I was feeling and feeling this feeling of protection. I had this feeling of safety that just overcame, like it just came out of nowhere. Now, I'd already said that I wasn't sure when I was going to take my Shahada. I just was like, I'm waiting for my call. I'm waiting for Allah to tell me when I'm ready. And sometimes people feel as though they have to learn so much to convert. It's with any religion. You feel like you're not ready, And I've had some people tell me that, when you have that feeling, you should do it. Then I've had some other people tell me that I should wait. But in that moment, sitting in the middle of my bed, crying my eyes out with my phone and my laptop and my writing my intentions, I just, and hearing all these things, I felt it at that moment. I felt it. I felt it was, I wanted to convert. I wanted to take my Shahada. And it was a feeling that I hadn't felt in a very long time. I will honestly say that I don't know if I really even had that feeling before. It was this feeling of being hugged tight and being told that you're okay. When you've roamed for so long alone, it's challenging because you always feel like you're doing it by yourself. That does not mean that I don't have a support system. That doesn't mean that I don't respect my relationship with my brother. He is someone that plays a large role, masculine energy in my space. Doesn't mean that my family's not there to support me. That doesn't mean I haven't had relationships with men and all those things. But this was different. This was a different type of protection that I felt. I felt as though going to see my dad last week, and I cried to him that I need to know what I'm doing. I was lost. And in that moment, sitting in the middle of my bed, I knew exactly what I wanted to do. And I knew that I was going to take my Shahada. I didn't really share it with anyone at the time, but I shared it with a few people, and they were like, I remember the time that I knew that I wanted to take it. I felt like a new person. I felt like I had taken off all of the armor that I had created over the last couple of years. Tell you the truth, I probably did this for 10 years. All of the armor that I had to piece together myself for me to kind of keep myself together and protect it, first off, wasn't working. But I was trying to do it for myself when I felt this safety that just said, I'm going to do it for you. I'm going to do it for you. Whew. So let me be the first to tell the world that, yes, I will be converting to Islam. I will be taking my Shahada. I am going to, I'm not sure exactly the date, but I will. And I don't know what else to say after that part.